Cool. Let's talk now about the exportation of the files. Okay, I left here the final version of this file here in Max. Okay, look, you can click on the link right below of this video because it is already the Max version. Okay, it is already correct, the mapping and everything, the objects. Okay, it was corrected, the pivots, so don't worry about it. Okay, the materials are already replaced. Okay, they were transformed into standard. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it here so that you can download it and follow this class with me. Okay, or if you just want to follow me with your file there, it's okay. But if you want, just click right below here and download the files. Okay, so let's go. So what did I do between the last class and this class? I just verified the mapping of all the objects. Okay, I tagged if it was correct, if the direction was correct. Okay, everything's correct now. Okay, another thing that I did was I replaced the materials that was like Corona and Array into standard. Okay, I transform it then into standard. If you select the piano material, everything here it is in standard. Okay, this black, all of this, all of them are in standard. All of it was replaced. Okay, of all objects, so it's gonna be easier to work with this. Okay, look, standard as well. So yeah, everything is in standard. And also it was corrected the pivots. Okay, based on that criteria that we talked about. For example, if I want to move on Unreal, I will leave the object aligned to the 0 of the word. Okay, but if I don't want to move the objects like walls, ceiling, floor, I'll leave it like this. Okay, let's see the layer here, layer explore. Here we have the ceiling that is aligned to the pivot where it was. I didn't want to change it. The pivot positioning, the decorations, we'll talk about it soon. Let me see the floor. It is already adjusted in the position that it was. Okay, 0 of the word here. And I'm not going to adjust the floor because I'm not going to move it. Okay, the frames, I'm going to keep it. The furniture, this. Okay, good. Let me take the furnitures and I'll leave just the frames. What I did with the frames specifically, these frames they are basically frame and glass. Okay, however, some of these glasses here are sliding glasses. Okay, go to the left and to the right. Some doors they open and they close. Okay, cool. And there on Unreal, these objects can be interactive. Okay, for example, as the character approaches the door will open. You know, as he moves away, the door closes. Okay, we can create that interactivity there. And for that, I made some windows that I want to open and close the door, release the access for navigation. Well, I'm going to move these doors. For example, this door here, it's a door for this area, the living room, the main living room. Let me get the wall here so that you can see. Okay, it is one of the main living rooms. So there, during the navigation, my character comes here and the door is going to slide like this. After, it's going to slide like that. For me to do that with the pivot here, distant, it will be really hard to adjust the position of the door, you know, to create the animation. So what I did was I put the door here in the 0 of the pivot. I left I left it here in the center of this. There on wheel, I can put the door on the right position and animate this. It's going to be much easier. Okay. Same thing here. This door here from a room, for example. This door is from here. This room here. Okay. Same thing when I approach this door, it's going to slide. Okay. A little bit different here. These two doors. I'm going to explain it why. These two doors, if you notice, the zero of the word is here. Okay. This door, I don't want it to move to open in the other side. I want this. I want this to open in the pivot. Like if it was a door like that. Okay. This rotation. But Unreal considers a pivot of the word and not pivot on the object. So if I want the pivot to be positioned at the end of the door, so I will not put the door in the center because the pivot will be in the center here. So I put right here at the end of the door, okay? Like this. Because this way, the door will use the position of where it is in relation to the word, okay? Same thing this door here, okay? As it is here, close to the zero of the word, there on wheel, it's going to open in this way, okay? Like this. It looks kind of confusing, but don't worry about it, okay? We'll talk more about it soon, about interactions and everything will make more sense, okay? So meanwhile, I'm just explaining why the doors are like this, okay? As Unreal understands the zero of the word, when I export this door, pivot is be right here. It's going to be right here. So this door is gonna rotate like this. It's gonna open like this, okay? And this one like this. Cool. Let's see what else we have here. The frames, the furnitures, the closets. They're cool. We don't need to move them. The cabinet, the kitchen cabinet, the office. Let me see what it is. I think it is one of the arms of the armchair. I think. I'm not sure, but I think so. Let's see. I'm gonna delete it. Okay. Yeah. After we can duplicate this, just in case. So, the piano. Probably I'll move it. So I left here in the center of the pivot. Okay, the sink as well. The one as well. If I want to use in some other project, it's okay. The chair as well. Remember, we had 6 chairs. So I just left one here because I can cop on Unreal instead of adjusting 4 positions, okay? Okay, so let's do this. What else we have? The table as well. The couch, yeah. The bathtub, couch, this one. One of the armchairs. We have 2 armchairs actually. Let's delete one. What else we have? Let me see. What is this? Okay. Also, we're going to move there on Unreal. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. We can save it. And this one as well. So if I want to move this chair on Unreal, the pivot is in the center, so it's okay. Let's see about the little armchair, the little arm. We can just here. Okay, let's select the polygon. Oh, it is already selected. Cool. But we have more things selected, so Let's select these two. I think we have one more little screw. Let me save it. Select the layer. Cool. Let's copy this now. I'm going to clone to an object so we can flip it. Okay. Let me see. Y. Okay, great. Now we choose the right position here. Right here. I think it's cool here. Let me see if it's okay. Let me see if the other side is okay. It's a little different. But let me see. Let me make it correct. Let's attach it. Yeah, great. Cool. Now everything is just one object. Cool. So all the furnitures were corrected. The pivot, okay. The lamps as well. Yeah. Cool. The walls, I kept the same way because I'm not gonna move them. And the project, we don't need to send it. Okay. Nice. So we have all the pivots corrected. Okay. Our project is ready to be exported to Unreal. Okay. Let's save this because this file here is going to be available for you to download it. Okay. Nice. So how can we export this file and send it to Unreal? It's very simple. You just export it in FBX. But instead of exporting all the project, let's export this in a segmented way because it's going to make it easier. Okay, and we can work in an organized way with this, in this way. Let's get started. Exporting this ceiling. Select this, the elements, export, and that's it. Cool. Look, I created a folder here, FBX folder. Remember the text here, the pivot tests. So I'm going to delete them so that we can get started again. Okay. Now we don't need of them. Let's delete them. Cool. And I'm also going to delete this folder here. I'm going to delete this. So there is no folder anymore, but we're going to export together all the files, okay, in FBX. And I'm going to leave these files in FBX so that you can download them. All right, you can click on the link below, and that's it. You will download them. In case you have some problem in your FBX file or exportation or files in Max or some compatibility problems, you can go straight to the FBX files, okay? That I will leave it for you here so that you won't have problems, okay? Okay, so let's create a FBX folder that you must have already downloaded, okay? The Max file that you downloaded, FBX, and let's put the things inside there. Click here, FBX. Let's create a new one. We're gonna call it ceiling. Okay. Let's call it here SM ceiling, and yeah, like this. SM means static mesh. Okay. Unreal has some specific nomenclatures. For example, when we are talking about some geometry, the object in 3D, Unreal calls it a static mesh. It doesn't need to have that name, okay? So don't worry about it. You don't need to name like this. However, it's the name that is used with. So if you send this file to another person and you name it with SM in front of the name, the person will know that it is a static mesh. It's not a light, it's not a material, it is not a texture. It is only a static mesh, okay? It is a 3D block, okay? So it's interesting that you put SM before all of your objects. This way, you can keep going, keep working in an organized way, okay? Further on, I'll leave you here the nomenclature of each type of asset in Unreal as SM blocks. Texture, you put a T, underline, and the name of the texture. Materials, you put M, underline, and the name of material. That way, the other artist will know what you're talking about. If there is a T in underline, oh, it's a texture. Okay? So, yeah, cool. So, SM ceiling. Yeah, great. Oh, there is an important thing. But don't worry, we're gonna do it now, and I'm going to explain to you. This, export. Yeah, let's create a folder. Let's call it like this. SM underline deco underline. Okay, great. Including Unreal doesn't understand space. So if you're going to type some name, use underline, okay? Because Unreal doesn't understand space. Put this underline in something, and that's okay. Cool. And it also fits in static mesh and materials and other things. Okay. Always name underline instead of space. Okay. Cool. Let's save it. Cool. Here important. Go to preset geometry. It's going to export this, leave it marked, okay? Because if you have a very cracked mesh with little segment, it will give a smooth to the mesh, okay? If the model has turbo smooth, it will export the turbo smooth from the mesh, okay? It will preserve the edge orientation. As we don't have an animation, you can leave it like this. Cameras as well, we won't export in, we use the Unreal camera, okay? Lights as well, we're going to use in Unreal there, don't worry about it here. Audio as well, we don't need to use here. Embed media, basically you have to mark this, okay? Because all the textures that you're using here in Max to be sent to Unreal, okay? To be sent together with the FBX, okay? If it's like this, you have a problem. So let's mark it, okay? So that way the texture that you're using on the objects in 3ds Max will be stored in FBX, okay? If you don't mark it, probably you're going to import files on Unreal without textures, okay? So basically, just check if this is smooth, is like this, the other one, verify this, okay. Animation, cameras, lights, audio, embedded media, right here, it's important, okay? Mark it. And that's it. Cool. So deco is done. Let me see floor. Let's check floor. Select everything, file export. Right here, let's create a folder. Okay. Static mesh SM underline floor underline. Okay, great. So we can minimize it. Verify this and okay. Next, the frames. Let's select export. Okay, folder, frames, SM static mesh underline frame underline. Okay. Okay, let's see. Next. Okay, the furnitures, export, select furnitures, static mesh underline furniture underline. Okay, great. Okay, it's marked. Okay, that's it. We are exporting. Yeah, cool. You also can export the whole project, but it's not really interesting because if the project is really heavy, a really huge project with a lot of elements, you can, have some problems on Unreal and it gets closed, So it's better if we do like this, segmented. It's more organized. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. We're almost done. The project we're not gonna do the walls. Yeah. Export. Um, create a folder here. Wall. That's going to be the structure. Okay. I'm gonna let it like wall. Yeah. SA underline wall underline. Great. Okay. There is more objects in here. That's why it takes more time. Okay. Okay. Finished. Yeah. Our project was already exported and it's ready to be imported in Unreal Engine. Okay. Before you proceed, give it a recap, a review, make the download there of the first class, follow me with the classes so that you can make sure that you learn it. Okay, this class, download the files. If you have some problems about exporting, importing, don't forget to make the download so that you will have the files, and everything's gonna be fine. Okay. So I'm gonna finish this class. We saw a lot of things, and I'm sure you will learn it. Okay, inside 3ds Max, you can adapt these concepts with other softwares, Blender, Mayas. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can adapt in your software. It's okay. Remember that in the first class we adjusted and the unit of measurement that was in centimeters. It's really important. Okay. In the second class, we organized and separate the files in layers. It's really important to work in an organized way so that we won't get lost. Okay. We're going to Unreal next class and there will be a lot of information. Okay. In the third class, we reduced the polygon count. Okay. We found balance, quality, optimization. We talked about menage, LODs. In the fourth class, we prepared the materials to send to Unreal. We transformed it from Corona to standard, from V-Ray to standard, okay? Because Unreal only understands standard type materials. Actually, Unreal kind of understands other type of materials, but it's way harder to work with other materials, okay? So it's better if we work with standard type material. It's going to be faster, less loads, and easier to adjust, okay? In fifth class, we mapped the texture in 1 for 1 for 1, 100 centimeters for 100 centimeters for 100 centimeters. In the sixth class, we correct the pivot. We saw the importance of the object being the center of the word, because Unreal understands the pivot as the center of the word where the project came from, and we identified when to put the object in the center of the word and when to leave as it is. If I'm not going to move the object in Unreal, I can leave it as it is. But if I'm going to use in other projects, I have to adjust the pivot, okay? And so that I will control with more facility. And in this class, we learned how to export in FBX, okay? With this class, we finished this topic, 3ds Max here. If we need, we can get back here to correct something, but don't worry, we're going to do everything together. Everything, okay? Since the beginning, okay? So hugs to you, and I can see you on next class, where probably we will download Unreal. Okay, see you.